Solve the equation. We have x to the fourth minus 6x squared minus 27 equals 0. Notice there are three terms, and this is what's called a quadratic type. It's not a quadratic equation necessarily because it has x to the fourth, but it behaves like one in certain ways. And what that means is you can actually factor this like a quadratic trinomial using the same procedure as factor by grouping, but it's just going to have different exponents. So here's what happens. We take this middle term of negative 6x squared, and we're going to look at the coefficients of the x to the fourth and the negative 27, which are just 1 and negative 27. So we multiply the 1 and the negative 27. 1 times negative 27 is negative 27. Then we need to find the factors of negative 27 that add to make negative 6. Well, I'm going to say negative 9, positive 3. Those do add to make negative 6. They multiply to make negative 27. So that's how we're going to split this middle term. Now watch what happens. X to the fourth minus 9x squared plus 3x squared minus 27 equals 0. Okay, see how that works? It's the same idea as regular factor by grouping with a quadratic, but we just have different exponents here. So now we can do factor by grouping. X squared is in common with x to the fourth and the minus 9x squared, and that's going to leave x squared minus 9, because x squared times x squared makes x to the fourth. X squared times negative 9 makes negative 9x squared. Now we'll do the second two terms here. Plus 3 is all that's in common, so that's going to leave an x squared minus 9, because 3 times x squared makes 3x squared. 3 times negative 9 makes negative 27. Now we'll do the grouping step. It's going to be x squared plus 3 times x squared minus 9 equals 0. Okay, now let's apply the zero product property and finish solving. So we have x squared plus 3 equals 0, and x squared minus 9 equals 0. Looks like both of these can be solved by square roots. So subtract 3, x squared equals negative 3. So x equals plus or minus the square root of negative 3, or x equals plus or minus I square roots of 3. So that's two imaginary solutions there. Now let's solve the other part. Add 9 to both sides. So we have x squared equals 9. Take the square root of both sides. X equals plus or minus square root of 9, which is plus or minus 3. So we have four solutions, two imaginary and two real. X equals plus or minus 3 and plus or minus I square roots of 3. So now I'll just do a quick check on the calculator to see what the solutions should be. You can see the related functions are already entered in the calculator. I'm going to press graph. And I've already adjusted the window a little bit to show you what this function looks like. And this is pretty typical of a function where you only have x to the fourth and x squared. It'll be some type of weird bent parabola type shape. So notice here the real solutions, looks like negative 3 and positive 3 are the x-intercepts. So those two are correct. And the plus or minus 3i, those imaginary solutions are what create this weird little bend here.